Hey there, mountain men and women. I'm Logan Kirk with RockyMountainMysticMan.com. In this video, I'm going to be covering how you can survive a bear encounter when in the wild. Now, I live in the Colorado Rockies and only 8 miles away from Rocky Mountain National Park. This makes bear encounters up here a common occurrence, okay? And the more time that you spend in the backcountry, it just makes it more common. It's happened to me already this spring twice. So it's important to note about bears that the attacks are actually extremely uncommon for the general population, and you're more likely to die in a car crash or from falling in your bathtub. I'm not joking. City life is more likely to kill you than a bear. But regardless, bear encounters do happen, and being eaten alive by one is a very unsavory way to go. Now, there are many reasons that bear encounters, they're happening more often in the past years. These range from deforestation, habitat encroachment by human society, which is causing bear habitat loss, food shortages, and then there's these scientific folks that they say climate change, something or other, has also influenced the growing occurrences. Now, whether you are dealing with a polar bear, I'm not even going to go into a grizzly bear, the grizzly bear, or the more common black bear, the most obvious and common sense way, and I hate saying this one because I know you're not stupid, but it is just to avoid the bears altogether. Man, it makes me nuts when people say things like that. It's a total forehead slapper, and I'm half sorry I even said it. Now, there are some important things that you can do when in bear country to help minimize the overall chance of having a bear encounter. For instance, hang your food up in a tree at least 10 feet up and 5 to 6 feet out on a limb. And you need to do this at least 100 feet away from where you're camped, because that's going to pretty much guarantee that animals will not be getting into the food and having it, into the food and having it away from your camp. It keeps you safe while the animals try to unsuccessfully get at it. Now, many people also wear what's known as a bear bell. That thing annoyingly announces your presence to all of the creatures under the sky. Ugh. The best prevention I have found for minimizing bear encounters has been this: keep your eyes up and always be looking around. Situational awareness, it's a learned skill. It's the best skill for keeping safe in the wild on so many levels. Now, in the lower continental states, you're not going to find polar bears. There's another forehead slapper for you, right? And be glad, because encounters with those beasts, they don't have a good survival history. But black bears are common throughout a lot of the United States, and grizzlies can be found roaming in the northern states that are bordering Canada. Now, obviously, places like Alaska and Canada, the grizzlies are much more commonplace. Both of these bears, they have a historical chance of you being able to survive an attack. And surviving an encounter, that's actually really commonplace. So let's talk about the grizzlies and the black bears, right? Grizzlies, they are much bigger than black bears, and you can identify a grizzly by its size and this massive hump of muscle that it has on its upper back. Not only are they bigger than black bears, but they've got a well-earned reputation of being much more aggressive as well. Yes, grizzly bears are commonly brown and known as brown bears, but just like their smaller cousin, the black bear, they can come in black, brown, and even occasionally albino. The same goes for the black bear, which can also be shades of brown and albino as well. And personally, I'm not interested in meeting any bear that looks like a polar bear, all right? No. So when you're in bear country, you'd better be prepared at all times for a possible encounter. Hence that need to develop a strong situational awareness, all right? It can be a matter of life or death for you or those in your company, for you to be tuned into that possibility of having a bear encounter. Most recorded attacks by both a grizzly and black bears have to do with someone coming across a sow and her cubs, or a bear that has been food conditioned and ends up in dumpsters, cars, or campgrounds looking for that easy meal. And surprising any bear is never a good idea. You surprise a grizzly or a black bear, and you better be prepared to deal with a charging attack. This is why bear spray is a must to have on your person when in bear country. Bear spray is proven to be more effective than a firearm in stopping a charging, pissed off, surprised, hungry, aggressive bear. But don't get me wrong, in addition to that bear spray, carry a firearm. If a large grizz comes charging down on you, it is absolutely imperative that you fight off that flight instinct and hold your ground. You are not. Now, I repeat, you are not going to outrun or outclimb a bear. If you don't have any bear spray or a firearm, then you need to pull your knife and get into the fetal position on the ground, all right? Okay, the grizz is going to do one of 3 things at this point. It will continue its charge and use its massive paws to give you a dangerous defensive swat and then patter off. People are accidentally killed by bears, especially grizzlies, with these defensive charges on pure accident from the sheer power of the bear. or the bear will charge you and begin to aggressively attack and eat you, at which point you are going to sustain unbelievable damage. But you need to use your knife to begin stabbing it in the face and neck to try to get at a vital artery. Hey, bear, get back, bear, no, get back, bear. This scenario, you are going to sustain absolutely horrific injuries and you may not survive, but you're not going to survive for sure if you don't fight back. If you don't carry a knife on your person and you don't have it at the ready, you absolutely should not be in the wild, period. The third thing is that the grizz may charge, then just do a bluff and retreat. Now this is very common with black bears, and all the more reason you need to stand your ground and talk to the bear. Bear, stop. Now if you have bear spray, you need to realize bears can run up to 30 to 35 miles per hour, and this is why that bear spray needs to be at the ready on your hip or in a chest holster. It's not gonna do you any good ticked away in your haversack, or even worse, your backpack. The instant the bear shows signs of doing anything other than moseying along on its way, you need to have that can in your hand and ready to disperse, all right? Because it is most likely going to charge you. But if you and the bear become aware of each other, right, and it doesn't charge, you need to begin to speak in a loud, calm voice to the bear. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. Keep moving. It's okay, bear. Just go on. Keep moving. Go on. Keep going, bear. Keep going, bear. That's okay, bear. Good bear. Go that way, bear. Go that way, bear. You need to give that bear as much berth as possible, all right? And continue to talk to the bear so it can know where you are, and you need to back away. It is imperative that you never ever run from a bear. Don't turn your back on a bear. I keep saying this because running is most everyone's first instinct, and it is the one that is going to get you killed. Just remember, if the bear attacks, most of the experts agree, this is the moment when you need to lie down and play dead. The goal is to convince the bear that it has completed its goal and effectively minimize that perceived threat that it thought you posed. So, just they say lay flat on your stomach to protect your organs. Cross your hands behind your neck to guard your arteries, or curl into the fetal position. Keep that knife at the ready for when things start to really go wrong. Seriously, playing dead is a proven and effective strategy to survive an actual attack with something like, I think it was 75% historical success rate. Because most bear attacks, they're usually defensive in nature, right? And bears will typically just back down once they recognize that you're not really a threat. Now, of course, we know that nothing is actually predictable out here in the wild. Bears, though, they're omnivorous and they subsist mostly on plants and fish, okay, but they have been known to feast on human flesh. Just try to make sure it isn't yours. Now, I hope this video has helped you to prepare mentally for what to do during your next excursion into bear country. If you haven't already, you need to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any mountain man life tips and my outdoor gear reviews. Also, hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is released. As always, I appreciate you watching. And don't forget, you guys, comment below. I would love to hear about your bear encounters you have survived in the wild. So, as always, thanks, and I'll see you again soon.